That was a wonderful job, Phyllis. Thank you. You always make us so harmonious in the morning. My name's Patty, and I'm going to be your service leader today. Welcome to Unity of Bloomington. And you can't see it, but I'm smiling. At Unity, we offer practical spiritual teaching that empower abundant and meaningful living. We are a center for spiritual growth, and we provide inspiration, tools, and practices that support people on their path of spiritual growth. Please stand now and join us in combining our voices in joyful song.
To be grateful, so grateful. Today I choose to be grateful, grateful. Today I choose to be peaceful, so peaceful. Today I choose to be peaceful, peaceful. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want, 'cause it's all up to me. Today I choose to be loving, so loving. Today I choose to be loving, loving. Today I choose to be joyful, so joyful. Today I choose to be joyful, joyful. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want, 'cause it's all up to me. It's all up to me. Today I choose to be playful, so playful. Today I choose to be playful, playful. Today I choose to be grateful, so grateful. Today I choose to be grateful, grateful. To be grateful, grateful. To be grateful, grateful. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, everything I get more of is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Feel the joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I feel joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel the sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel the sweet release of peace. So feel the peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I start my day with love. When I start my day
Wonderful, thank you. Please remain standing and joining me in affirming our statement of being. Together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. This power expresses life, love, wisdom, and abundance through me. In it I live and move and have my being. Please be seated, everyone. One way we empower abundant and meaningful living is by practicing and living our 5 basic principles. I'll state the principle, and I invite all of you to respond to the affirmation. God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. God is. I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and everyone. I am. I create my experiences by what I think, feel, do, and believe. I create. Through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. I pray. I do and give my best by living the truth I know. I make a difference. I live. I now invite Reverend Lynette up for a moment with the children.
And we have 2 children today. Woo, hey. I'm going to let you sit down, but I'm going to stand up. Is that okay? Because I'm just better on my feet than I am on my bottom. I'm going to let you introduce yourselves because you don't know each other. How about that? This is happening right here in real time. Children meeting each other. Well, I'm going to let our established child. Do you like the sound? You're established. You know what that means? You've been around for a while. Yeah, she's smiling. I can see it in her eyes. Tell me what your name is, please.
Ella.
Everybody, this is Ella. And I will stand on this side. Our new child is
I'm Kaylee.
Kaylee. Now that's Kayleith. GH. Oh, okay. It's that hearing thing I've got. Oh, thank you for correcting me. Thank you very much. That's right. Okay. I'm having trouble keeping this up where it belongs. We've been talking about choice, and we've been talking about joy. So this is what I'm using as an object lesson for choice. These are stickers made out of stickers. This is brand new to me. I didn't know you could do this. And I mailed one to Ella this week. Did you get this in the mail? Mom, we didn't get this yet. I have trouble getting mail from the Clear Creek post office to the Bell household. I am sure that I mailed it this time. Last time, not so much. But we'll find some. These are to teach us about choice, because what you get is this, in case you can't tell, this is a happy sloth and a shocked hamster. I think her purse is empty. I think that's what she looks a little dumbstruck. Can you see those? That's right, the sloth is wearing a crown. And what I did is those came as blanks with the kind of like a flat Mr. Potato Head. So it came as a blank, and then you got to choose the eyes and the mouth, and if you wanted a hat. Did you want to take a look at that? So you put the little stickers on the big stickers, and then you peel the big sticker off and decorate something else with it. You had to choose what you wanted your expression to be. First of all, most of the kids got 4 of these, so they had to choose which one to do. They had to stick the eyes in the mouth and the accessories on. And they had to be willing to play with it and willing to try, and they had to commit because I asked them to finish what they started. So that was our teaching tool. And we have pictures. A couple of our kids who have been joining us from home. This is Ty Smithson. He looks like he got a very vicious-looking shark with a pirate hat on and a goldfish wearing sunglasses. And his sister, Zaylee, she also got a hamster. Oh, and the one on the left is an elephant. But it's about the same color as the background, so it's a little hard to see. So we were delighted. So we have 4 children represented here today, and we are so excited. Kaylee, we're glad you and your family came to visit us today. Mom Jen and Dad Charles are sitting in the back, so if you'd greet them after the service. And while we're introducing visitors, I want to tell you, I'm going to out Terry as a member of the Peace Choir. We're glad you're here too. She said she was looking for a church where they were singing this morning, so I said, come on in. So, you have some choices, and we hope that you will always enjoy choices, and when you see stickers like this, you'll remember that you can choose and commit and be willing. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming up.
You are the future, and we love you. You are the future, and we honor you. You are the future, and we lift you up. You are the future, you are divine.
Thank you very much. It's so nice to see the young faces here today. We enjoy them so much, and we don't get to see them as often as we'd like to, but we appreciate you. This year, Unity's annual theme is how to stay centered, no matter what. Each month, we explore the role that one of the 12 powers plays in staying centered and experiencing inner peace, no matter what is occurring around us. This month, we will explore the power of will. Spiritual will brings clarity and direction. It affords a new way forward, a new path to fulfillment. The power of will sustains each of us as we pursue our divine purpose. We are committed and resolute, bypassing distractions and disregarding desires that would lead us astray. Divine will directs us to devote our energies to practices that carry us forward as we focus on our goal. We are focused and flexible, determined but not dogmatic. Attuned to the flow of spirit, we can be willing and open to the path ahead. With a clear sense of purpose and direction, the power of will enables us to choose each step, knowing that our highest good is unfolding. We are grateful that this power of will guides us onward and upward, and so we affirm this month. I use my power of will to choose to commit and to be willing. Please join me now in claiming the truth as our own together. I use my power of will to choose and commit to act. Okay, right now Roy has an announcement for us.
Good morning. My name is Roy Capio, and I'm currently on the Board of Trustees, and I'm serving as treasurer. We have a site plan, a contractor, a building permit, and an investor that's interested in helping to finance our solar panel project. Our bylaws require that we hold a special meeting of the congregation for review and approval of this project because of the financial commitment it involves. Everyone is welcome to attend this hybrid in-person/Zoom meeting. So either you can come here next Sunday after the service at noon, we'll have our meeting, or you can come online. And the mailing that we sent out to everyone, to all our membership, we've given you the link which you can connect to provide the opportunity for you to participate in this meeting. That letter was mailed last week, Thursday, and you probably have received it by now. The United Nations panel on climate change has announced this week that we've reached a code red status for the Earth's climate. And next week, we'll be voting on the proposal to make Unity of Bloomington virtually carbon neutral. Let me repeat that. We can make Unity of Bloomington carbon neutral by the end of this year. And we can do this while enjoying a handsome rate of return on our investment at the same time. Plan to join us again to learn more about this exciting development. Okay, bear with me here. Will also be available on the first page of our website, where you can go on our website at unityofbloomington.org, where you can make arrangements to participate in the meeting. Finally, by the way, we'll be visiting, those that will be visiting our website, you'll have the opportunity to actually leave some questions or issue some questions or concerns that you have specifically that you'd like to share with the group. There will be a form on that area, and you'll be able to submit anything that you'd like us to consider next week, Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you. The word today is joy. The affirmation is, I say yes to the joy that invites me in this moment. It's time to read the daily word. And the daily word is, I say yes to the joy that invites me in this moment. Joy is the call of my heart. Whether I am at work or at play, I bring a spirit of joyfulness to everything I do. More than a mood or an attitude, joy is part of me and mine to live and to share. Like all aspects of my divine identity, joy flowers in my consciousness. When I hold joyful thoughts and feelings, I express my joy as excitement and, excuse me for a minute, anticipation, fascination at new discoveries, deep satisfaction in a relationship, and a tranquil glow for communing with God in prayer. My joy is contagious, and I love to share in it. I have feelings of joy when I take part in a friend's or family member's joyous moment. Their celebrations and their accomplishments, I feel quiet joy when I offer encouragement and even when I give comfort. Grateful to share the care and love of God. Rejoice always is from Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 16. Now we will join together and speak the affirmation out loud. I say yes to the joy that invites us in this moment. Our speaker today and our spiritual minister is our spiritual minister coordinator, co-coordinator, Reverend Lynette Carlson. Our Unity music team will provide us with the musical inspiration.
When the walls come tumbling down, I choose joy, I choose joy. When the world stops spinning around, I choose joy, I choose joy. When my heart is hard to move, when my music's lost the groove, when I have too much to prove, I choose joy, I choose joy. When hate is all I see, I choose joy, I choose joy. When fear won't let me be, I choose joy, I choose joy. When betrayals and lies hide the light from my eyes, when I look up to the skies, I choose joy, I choose joy. Joy, 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 I choose joy. Joy, 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 I choose joy. In this moment right here, I choose joy, I choose joy. For the ones that I hold dear, I choose joy, I choose joy. To be all I might be, for the light that shines through me, for everybody to be free, I choose joy, I choose joy. Joy, joy, joy,
Ginger found or refound, I think, that song this week while we were thinking about joy. And I appreciate your ability to deliver it so joyfully. Amen. Yes. Yes. For those of us who are musically inclined, we could just take up the offering and go home now. But some people are not as moved by music as others, so they expect me to say a few words. Help me remember to take this with me when I leave. Like the song says, joy really is a choice. And like so many other choices we make, we're often unaware that we're even choosing. We do a lot of things automatically or without thinking, following familiar routines and maintaining old habits. And even when we don't have an established pattern to follow, we frequently find ourselves just doing things. Or it seems like things just happen. I worked with a couple once who had some challenges in communicating, and one of them had to do with stepchildren. The biological mom kept letting her kids move home, and her partner wasn't really thrilled about that because it tended to just happen. So we worked in therapy on that, and by God, it just happened again. And the mom said, well, we didn't really decide. It just happened. That's not really how it works. But I know that's what it seems like. So while it's far from mindfulness, routines are an efficient way to accomplish some daily tasks to keep our lives and our cars and our careers and our households running smoothly. It's really nice to just brush your teeth because that's what you always do. You don't have to stop and think about it or plan it or work it into your schedule. You just do it automatically. But it's when we rely on that same automatic behavior in other areas that it becomes problematic, especially true emotionally, relationally, and in those areas of our lives where things aren't running quite so smoothly or even healthily. So when we live on autopilot in these aspects of our existence, we may find that we feel trapped on a continuous loop of reaction and dissatisfaction. Perhaps did you ever feel like life was living you instead of you were living life? That's kind of what can happen if we're on autopilot. The social scientists sometimes refer to this feeling like life is living you as a lack of agency. And that's a sense of not being in control of our own lives because we lack the power to act, to do what we really want to do, not just what we're programmed to do. We don't realize we can make our own choices, and that's where the power of will comes in. Joni taught me a great lesson about this years ago. I remember being in the car and saying, well, we have to do such and such next. And she said, is that what you want to do next? I said, that's the plan. And her response was, do you want to do this or is it just the plan? And I had to stop because I thought, I don't know. I don't know. I just make the plan, do the plan. That's kind of, it follows suit pretty closely for me. As she mentioned last week, she's a perceiver in the Myers-Briggs, and I'm a little more of a judger, which doesn't mean I'm judgmental. Just means I follow the plan. She doesn't. She will give you a different interpretation of that, I'm sure. However, it was very helpful for me, and I've actually hearkened back to that fairly regularly and say to myself, am I just doing the plan? And who made the plan to begin with? It was me. So if I'm ready to divert from it, it's my choice. We've explored this power. This is the third week. And I've realized that one of the reasons I'm able to make choices is my mother had a deep commitment to teaching her children how to make choices. And one of the ways she did it was just by asking us to make them. I had lots of friends whose parents seemed to make their choices for them or would tell them what to choose. But one story comes to mind. I was in high school, had a friend join us for dinner, and Mom asked her how she wanted her hamburger done. Mom had worked at a diner when she was in high school, and she sometimes referred to herself as a short order cook. And she liked to fix things the way people wanted them. So that meant they had to know how they wanted them, and they had to be able to tell her. And my friend looked at her with kind of uncomfortable bewilderness and said, "Cooked?" She honestly didn't know. Well, and I knew her family, and her parents tended to tell her what to do. So I'm sure nobody had ever asked her how she wanted something fixed. My friend was kind of like the character that Julia Roberts plays in The Runaway Bride. Have any of you seen that? I figure it was old enough, most of us had. Remember, she doesn't know how she likes her eggs. Every groom she runs away from likes his eggs in a different way, and she always goes along with what they want. And at one point, Richard Gere says, "You need to go figure out how you like your eggs," which she does end up doing. So it is possible to identify what we want in order to make choices, but it takes a little bit of focus and effort. As Ginger mentioned, we plan our Sunday messages about a month in advance. The end of the last month, we plan the next month. And we chose to use Big Unity's annual theme this year, which considers a different one of the 12 powers each month. Parenthetically, a lot of choices are like that. You make one choice and it dictates others. Now you can divert from that. Again, that's a plan. And for some of us, that's comforting, and for others, it's off-putting. But we start with a plan, and then we get to decide if we're going to throw it out for now or permanently. Well, Ginger gave me a clue recently when she spoke and said that she often consulted the Daily Word on the Sunday that she was scheduled to speak in order to decide how to apply that month's theme in her message. So when I drew August 15th, I thought, what am I going to say about the power of will? So I looked at the Daily Word. And as you have already heard, the word for today is joy. Well, that made it easy. Will and joy. Yeah, I knew we could do that. What surprised me, though, since I identified that, is how many times in the Daily Word, just in the last 2 weeks, because this is the 15th, so the last 15 days, how many times joy has showed up in the Daily Word. On August 1st, the word was radiance, and it contained this sentence: "As the sun lights the earth and is the source of its energy, the Christ, the divine presence within me, is my light and the source of everything I need in order to live brilliantly and joyfully." I love that. Then on August 7th, the word was prosperity, and the reading ended with, The good thoughts and expectations I hold lead me to blessings and opportunities. With each passing day, I find ever deeper security and joy. And then this past Thursday's word was playful. And the affirmation was, I am a radiating center of joy and jubilation. And then Friday, the word was comfort. And the daily word began, the love of God is my comfort throughout all the seasons of my life. I see this clearly as I recall times of joy and sorrow. And the scripture was from Jeremiah 31:13. I will turn their mourning into joy. I will comfort them and give them gladness for sorrow. There's just joy everywhere. And if I hadn't identified at the end of last month, that's what I was going to talk about, I'm sure I would not have been conscious of how that theme runs through so much of what we affirm and read and fill our consciousness with. In answer to the question, what is the biblical definition of joy? The Christian Science Monitor wrote, it's a deep-rooted, inspired happiness. Well, inspired means God-breathed. God breathes joy through us, to us, as us, with every breath we take. The divine is breathing through us, regardless of our outward circumstances. And that's where we sometimes get confused about joy. Although in light of the ongoing pandemic, just the fact that we can breathe is a real source of joy, because COVID-19 compromises this essential activity. I don't know that we'll ever take it for granted again, quite like we have in the past. Like peace, joy is always available to us. It's always there when we go within. When we quiet our minds, joy is always a choice, because the indwelling Christ is right there, breathing that through us and as us. Well, commitment is another aspect of the power of will. And spirit within empowers us not only to choose, but also to keep choosing over and over again. And that's really what commitment is. It's the ongoing action of choice. And our experience teaches us that there are very different energies involved in these two aspects. Deciding something at the outset and then continuing to decide that, to affirm that over and over again. Joni spoke last week about the importance of persistence. I didn't realize you had a bracelet with that on it until then. And that's really what commitment is about. It's persisting with the choice that we made. It's the difference between the children who decide to become Olympic athletes and one begins practicing gymnastics or running every day, and the one who would rather play the violin or a video game. They may have both made a choice, but their follow-through was very different. Choosing is important, but the real power of will, I believe, shows up when we partner with Spirit to follow through with that choice. And I think that partnership is the real difference between willpower, which is short form defined as control, and the spiritual power of will. Control tends to spring from the ego. and our little s self. I can do it myself. I can handle this. I don't need any help. Are all manifestations of willpower. They indicate that I'm determined to do this by the strength of my own personal will. And some people have success with this approach, although it can lead to kind of a grim rigidity and joylessness in those who practice it. And it takes a lot of energy. I tend to equate it with white knuckling. Do you know that term? It actually, I don't know if it originated here, but it is used in the AA Big Book, page 7, for those of you who want to go home and look this up. White knuckling means you are trying to hang on to not drinking while becoming more and more restless and irritable. It goes on to say, in this state, it is almost impossible not to drink. It reminds me of the slogan that's generated by our third principle: what we resist persists. That's why AA and other 12-step programs encourage participants to release their little s willpower in favor of making a decision to turn their will over to a higher power, which Unity understands to be our capital S self, the Christ presence within. And I think then this is where the third aspect of the power of will becomes central. We must be willing to seek a higher consciousness than our own human version. I'm not completely clear that this willingness is the same as the surrendering that AA teaches, but they do have a lot in common. Both involve letting go of our puny, ineffectual efforts in order to find and depend on a power greater than our own. And with that willingness, we come back full circle to joy. What greater joy can there be than choosing to live in a higher consciousness? When we commit to this expansive path, we cannot fail. We are always receiving spiritual guidance. When we depend on the power of will, we listen for and we're open to that gentle leading of spirit at all times. It may mean surrendering our small s human self to the wisdom and power of our higher capital S self. It's interesting, I smile again as I think about it. The image that came to my mind as I was crafting this message, I thought, what does this feel like? Because as I have been praying about and thinking about and planning this message, I have really felt uplifted. And as I thought of that word, the picture that came into my mind was riding on my own shoulders. First I thought, I'm riding on God's shoulders. And then I thought, who's God? I mean, what am I picturing? And then I realized if it's my higher self, it's probably my shoulders, a bigger, better, Christ-infused version of myself. The support and strength and guidance that provides is a source of joy for me. How could we express anything but joy at the prospect of being carried on the shoulders of the Christ presence within? We're never alone. Just as we carry the Christ presence within us, that same presence carries us. So let's rejoice. And now the Unity Music team is going to help us prepare for meditation.
We come with open hearts. We come with open minds. We come to hold the sacred space for truth to be revealed in this time. In this time, we come with open hearts. We come with open minds. We come to hold the sacred space for truth to be revealed in this time. In this time. In this time. As the strains of the music fade, I invite you to take a deep breath, relax into your chair, and close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Charles Roth, former pastor of Unity of Indianapolis, wrote a meditation titled, "The Christ Within is Joy." And this is adapted from that meditation. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Meditate on the idea of joy. Joy is an emotion, and emotions are the dynamos of the soul. The emotion of joy clears the mist from my mind, and I intuitively know the right answer, the right way. My joyful response to Spirit releases energy that strengthens, inspiration that uplifts, and love that heals and comforts. I think joy in my prayers for guidance. The Spirit of God in me inspires me, and I joyfully follow the inner light and direction that I receive. It's almost as if you were taken up on the swell of a wave, as the implications of this statement of truth ring true in the corridors of the mind and the deep, deep places of the heart. The Spirit of God in me inspires me, and I joyfully follow the inner light and direction that I receive. Joyfully follow, not with a shadow of doubt or even a tinge of just hoping, but innocently, childlikely, wholeheartedly, joyfully follow that inner light and direction. I joyfully accept the strength and healing power of God that arises from within me. The Spirit of God in me is renewing my mind and my body, and I joyfully accept that renewing, restorative, revitalizing life of God. The very cells of my body thrill with joy to hear the glad news
the glad song of health as I let the harmonies of the kingdom of God pour through my mind and into my body. I am a carrier of joy, and joy is contagious. I spread the happy song of joy radiated out to all about me. The Spirit of God in me is opening the way to my good, and I joyfully accept it. It is opening the way now. The door to my good is opening. I cannot as yet see through the door enough to know exactly what it is, but I feel a sense of anticipation as I intuitively know that it is good. The Spirit of God in me is opening the way to my good, and I joyfully accept it. I go forth to meet my good with joy in the silence.
I am joy, 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 I am joy. Pure joy, I am 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 joy, pure joy.
We turn now to our spiritual practice of generosity. We are grateful for the many ways this center supports us in our spiritual growth. And we, in turn, are happy to support this center with our financial contributions and our voluntary service. We are also grateful to those who have already put in place automatic weekly, monthly, or quarterly giving. Today, if you feel led to give, visit our website at unityofbloomington.org and click on the giving link. And if you brought a tithe or a love offering with you this morning, we invite you to place that tithe or love offering in the back of the church in our singing bowl. It is also where you can leave a prayer request if you have one for someone. You can find those prayer request forms in the seat in front of you. Join me now in speaking out loud the abundance affirmation. Together, I am an abundant being living in an abundant universe.
God is the source of my supply. I am not dependent on people or situations for my good. God is the source of my supply. I always have something to give, and I consistently give it. I expect the best, I give my best, and I now attract the best in every experience. My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 1,000-fold, as the universe says yes, yes, as the universe says yes. My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 1,000-fold, as the universe says yes, yes, as the universe says yes.
We bless all this abundance with these words. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I would like you all to stand and join me in saying the closing prayer together. We are here to glow as the light of God. We are the light of God. We are here to embrace as the love of God. We are the love of God. We are here to stand in truth as the power of God. We are the power of God. We are here to radiate as the presence of God. We are the presence of God. Wherever our God is, and all is well. In gratitude for our radiant health, please remain standing and join us in singing, "Let There Be Peace on Earth."